When formatting a document in MLA, I recommend that you use the downloaded app of Microsoft Word rather than the online version, because there are just a lot more detailed tools that are easily available to you. And that's what I'm using to format this document in MLA. I will note that in Microsoft Word does contain MLA templates. If you go to New, you can search for these templates and find them here. There's a regular sort of standard essay and there's a research paper. Now, the standard essay doesn't have a works cited page, which is something you'll need in all of your assignments, and it also uses an incorrect font. So that's a problem with this one. That would be something you have to fix, as well as format your own works cited page. And the other template, which is the research paper, is in the correct font. However, it contains a lot of things that you won't need, and these things have things like tabs and indents set to them that can really mess with your formatting. So there's a lot you would have to fix in this template as well. I recommend that you create your own template that you can just follow on all of your assignments. That way you don't have to use those templates and fix things. So the default font setting in Microsoft Word is Calibri size 12. You will want to use a serif font. A serif font is one that has the little feet at the bottom. So I'll zoom in. This is a sans serif font. You can see it's just plain at the bottom. This is a serif font. You see it has these little embellishments on the end. Serif fonts are what we use in MLA, but if you don't want to worry about that, that's okay. Just use Times New Roman. Times New Roman will never steer you wrong in college writing. You'll also want to make sure that it's size 12 from beginning to end. As well, you want your document to be double spaced from beginning to end. So you want to highlight the whole thing, and you can either go up here to the spacing menu and hit 2.0, or you can right click and go to paragraph, and under your spacing hit double. Now, once you have the whole document formatted in double spacing beginning to end, then I recommend you go in and add your assignment information at the top. This will start with your name. So let's say Betty White, RIP, wrote this. Then it will have the instructor name. You should use their professional titles. So professor is usually a safe bet, or doctor, as well as their last name. And then you would use the course name. This is English 1302 with your section number, which is listed in your Blackboard course code. Let's say this person was 600. Then you would put the assignment due date in international format. So in the US, we would write something like May 22nd, 2023, right? Well, in the rest of the world, they would say 22 May 2023, and that's what MLA uses. So it would go day, month, year. Then you need an assignment title. This should be center aligned, so you can use the center alignment function here, or the shortcut for that is Control E. And you will want this title to be descriptive. So what that means is that it should not say the name of the assignment. That's not descriptive, and it doesn't tell us what this is about. It should be something that tells us or gives a reader an idea of what the essay contains. Now, for this sample essay, let's say that that's Universal Struggle in Sunny's Blues. Now, the body of your essay, you need to indent all of your body paragraphs. This is a very, very common deduction for people, is incorrect indents. So ones that are either too big or too small. So if you just space your paragraph over, it's going to be incorrect every time. If you space it over a lot, it's going to be wrong every time. They should be a ½ inch. The way that you properly indent a paragraph is by hitting the tab key. That's the key above your caps lock key. You hit tab every time, they'll be the same size every time. The last thing that we need for the basic essay format is a running header. Now remember the difference between a heading and a header. A heading only appears on the first page. A header runs on every page. So to do that, I'm going to go to the Insert menu, and there is an Insert Header option, but since I know I'm using the page number as part of my header, I'm going to use this option at the top of the page, and it should be on the right, this one. Now, up here, it should be your last name and page number. You can type in your last name with that page number, but make sure to also update the font here to match the rest of your document in Times New Roman, size 12. Now this would be a properly formatted MLA document minus the works cited page, which we'll get to in a second. But for proper MLA formatting, you will want it to look like this. Now, when you're using templates or when you're working with MLA, it's easy for Microsoft Word to have a little bit of a mind of its own and to give you some errors. So for example, you saw just a second ago when I accidentally backspaced this paragraph. It has now changed this whole paragraph to be center aligned. So if I hit enter again, this paragraph is centered rather than left aligned like it's supposed to be. These are the sorts of things that you want to watch out for and be very meticulous about. You also want to make sure in the layout menu, your margin should be 1 inch on all sides, which is standard. However, it's easy to accidentally have an indent set. So this indent is different than like what you would do to indent a paragraph. This is a document indent. And if I put a document indent in here, it is going to make my margin too large. So you always want to make sure that your left and right indents, our document indents, are set to 0, and use the tab key to properly indent your paragraphs to prevent any errors with your margins themselves. Now, for those of you that prefer the Microsoft Word online version, these things work the same way. They're located in mostly the same places. You just probably find them a little bit differently. So in the online version, you don't have a distinct paragraph menu. So for example, to double space your document, you would need to highlight the whole thing, right click, and go to paragraph options in order to find this double line spacing. The one thing that does confuse people in the online version that I do want to point out is the header. I just opened the exact same document that I've been editing with you all in Microsoft Online, and you can see that header is gone. In the app, when you are using a header, it will appear in gray and it'll run on every page. But in the online version, it looks like there's nothing there. However, if I hit this header line, you see it has the student's name and then it has a number. This is the code for the page number. Now, this can be confusing, but if I, just to show you what it looks like when you save that file, if I pull up the print preview, you can see it does actually have the correct header. It just looks a little bit weird in the online version. So that's something to be aware of if you choose to use the online version of Word.